Bible is redundant. The Lord says things over and over because we're stiff-necked, hard-headed people.
We came to gather our people. We came to gather the Lord's sheep in the house of Israel.
Calm down and listen to one another. And more importantly, listen to this Bible. Okay, that's it.
But in this last day, the Most High is raising up the true prophets of God.
All great. All great. We're going to find out what's the way. Remember, the Bible is also a vocabulary book.
That's the question I'm asking. The same thing like the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that had God so nigh unto them.
The laws of God is the light that we gotta let shine before men.
Have you ever took a vehicle to a mechanic? Right, so say if you know your transmission is bad, right? The engine is, is slipping when it's going in the drive, and he put a new rear end in your car. Did he fix the problem? Right, the first thing that a mechanic's gonna do is what? Diagnose the problem. That's what we out here to do. A lot of you seeing what's going on, you're like, why did the Lord do this? Why did the Lord do that? We gotta first identify the problem, and then we'll get into the diagnosis. Like, you asking why are we living like this, that's you saying, you know what, something is wrong. So let's show why it's wrong, and then we're gonna show you the problem. Go ahead, read Deuteronomy 28, read verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that all the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You see, so the Lord said, look, when our car was running right, meaning we weren't in any sin as a nation, the Lord had us above all nations. When you look at our current state, sis, are we above all nations? Where we at right now, sis? We at the bottom. Okay, so now let's go to the flip side. Read verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
At the top it said the Lord will bless us if we did what he said. Now 15 said if you don't do what we tell you, if you don't do what I tell you to do, you're going to be cursed. Now, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? That's a bad thing. So, hold on, watch this though. Listen, because you listen what you just said. Listen to this. Read the next verse.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
It said what?
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Now look at Baltimore City. Are we blessed in the city right now, or are we cursed as a people? Right, so that's a prophecy though, sis. Remember, the Lord said if we didn't obey him, these curses will come upon us. Because we sinned. Yes. Sis, that's what. Sis, here's the thing. Give me that in, what's the name? Give me that in Romans 3.
Read out.
Give me that Romans 3. Is that what I want? Yep.
Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
So a lot of our people don't believe. When we read out the Bible, we at the bottom because we didn't keep the commandments. People say, I don't believe that. But nonetheless, you at the bottom. Read.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
So because we choose not to believe it, does it make the words of God less true? It doesn't matter. You could say fire isn't hot. You could say that all day. Put your hand in the fire. What's going to happen? You're going to get burned.
Right.
I believe in God. I believe God is a creator, but I don't believe that architects are faithful to us in this way, or it's something that.
No, that was our will because we didn't want to keep the commandments.
Right.
Just like when you got an apartment, right, or a house. What happens if you don't pay your rent or your mortgage? Right. So. Guess Guess what? We got put out of rulership because we weren't doing our part keeping the commandments. That's why we at the bottom here. Think about it, sis. Why else are we at the bottom? You give me an explanation as to why we live in the way we live. We don't have no money. Yeah, we are ignorant. Give me that. Give me that. What's the name? HOSEA. My people are destroyed. And you said other people's greed? That's it. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. Give me verse 48. Watch this. You said it. We don't control it. Let's see if God said it. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So whether you believe, we are serving our enemies that the Lord sent against us. Who do you pay your rent to? The white man. When you go to the corner store, who's in there? The Chinese man, the Arab man. Read.
And hunger.
So when you want something to eat, you don't, whether you believe it or not, when you go to your grocery store, you go to your corner store, you go to the, wherever you go, guess what? You're not getting that food from your own people. You're getting it from another nation. God said so. Read.
And in thirst.
Water which falls free from the sky. Y'all got to pay Baltimore water. And then your water's lead infested here. Read.
And in nakedness.
The clothing on your back. Did you get that from brothers and sisters that look like us? Right. It says made in Taiwan, made in China, made in Cambodia. Read.
And in want of all things.
Meaning in our lack, we got to go to our enemies for everything, sis. We got to go to our enemies for everything. Who do you got to go to? What nation of people issue your driver's license? But I'm saying, what nation of people don't run it? What race of people run it? Right. What about when you get a death certificate? What nation of people issue your death certificate? There you go. Your passport. But that's what God said. Sis, whether you believe it or not, it is true. No, he didn't. We suffered because the evil that we did, sis. Right. No, we knew what it was. Listen, Moses told us what it was. Like when you got your cell phone in your apartment, they give you a contract. You know what it is. If you don't pay your rent, I'm going to be out on the street. If I pay my rent, I'm going to be in the place. Right, you got the cigarette. What does the cigarette warning on the box say? So that's just your small example is a macro example of the nation. You got the warning, Surgeon General's warning. It's the same warning that Moses gave us. Go back to verse 15 for the sister. Read it again. This is the Surgeon General warning from God that we didn't listen to. That you're not listening to, that's on that box. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if you don't listen to what God tells you out of the Bible, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I have commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when you're going against that was the warning label. You know, when you got the caution tape, you might go to a construction site. You know, the power lines might be down. You know, you get windy. The power lines, they put the red caution tape, says shock hazard. You go across that caution tape and get electrocuted. Whose fault is that? There you go. Same scenario. Read verse 16 for the sister.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So, us here in Baltimore is a curse from God because of our disobedience. Understand that. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Look at this. Right here in the field, the cotton field and all that. Because we didn't want to keep the commandments, the Lord put us. You see what's going on, sis, with your own eyes. We're out here, as the analogy I used earlier, the technicians to give you the proper diagnosis. Right. You go down the street to that foolish church, he gonna tell you it's your season. Right. That's what he's gonna tell you. Sow it and reap it, or whatever the foolish saying of the day is. He's not gonna be able to go into the scriptures and tell you this is why we're living like this. Right. This is why crack is in the neighborhood. This is why we got black on black crime. He's not gonna go in there and tell you that, sis. Because what? Give me that Hosea 4 and 6. Because believe it or not, sis, we out here to help our people, to heal our people. We're not getting paid out here to come out here and do what we're doing. Where's the Christian? It's churches all over the place. I haven't seen one pastor out here teaching. And then when they do set up over, they playing gospel music. Read that.
I know. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
who's more destroyed than the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in America? We literally at the bottom of every measurable metric. High school dropout rate, economic might, teen pregnancy. Every statistic that you can measure that measures the progress of a nation, way at the bottom. Or at the top if it's got to do with crime or some other stuff. Or who's the number one people that die from high blood pressure, sis? What about diabetes? So why do you think that is? Right. Like what do you think that we shouldn't be eating? Go to Leviticus 11. What about, can we eat, you can take your mask off since you ain't offending us. We ain't worried about the coronavirus. What about, can we eat pork? I mean, what about shrimp? Can we eat shrimp? Okay, so let's see. Does God want us to eat pork? Let's see. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7.
So your body, you gotta look at your body like a car. God, when you get a car, you get an owner's manual. Your owner's manual in this case is the Bible. So we done dealt with the smoking, and we'll deal some more with that. So, but listen though, sis, we gotta draw the analogy so it makes sense. We gotta make the Bible plain to you. So when you buy a vehicle, you get an owner's manual. It tells you what type of fuel you gotta put in it, and what type of oil you gotta put in it for what. So it'll run what? Like, right, so like this car right here. If you threw diesel gas in there, is it gonna run? Absolutely not. That's a regular gas engine. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though it divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
Right, so we're not supposed to eat the swine. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
So we just read that the swine is uncleanness and abomination. Now we're going to deal with our seafood, what we should eat. Read.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Right, so whatever got fins and scales. Our people are eating an 87 diet when you're eating your shrimp, your lobster, your crab, your pork. Meaning, if the car is supposed to run on 93 octane, and you got some cars that run on 93 octane. If you put 87 regular pump gas in there, you know you got 83, 91, 93 when you go to the gas pump. If you put 87 in something that's 93 octane, it's not gonna run right. The check engine light gonna come on. That's what's going on with our people. Why you think we bleeding in diabetes? Because we're eating the 87 diet. The Lord said, nah, you're supposed to put 93 in there by eating the stuff with fins and scales. You're not supposed to be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. But we like to eat those things, and then we wonder why we always dying. Big mama got to get her foot chopped. Start with her toes, then they got to take the foot, then they got to take it all the way up to the knee. The whole time, Big Mama in the junk still punishing shrimp, lobster, chitlins, and all that. So you understand what's going on here? It says we're giving you the technical diagnosis to the problems in the community, and we're also giving you the solutions at the same time. So we're going to give you another solution. Give me Deuteronomy 22:5. Watch this, sis. And understand, matter of fact, give me 1 John 5:3. Because what you see out here is love. All the stuff that you've been trained in your life, you've been trained to hate yourself and hate God. I'm going to show you why. Watch this.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So we think love is this emotional feeling and all that. No, love is keeping of God's commandments. Give me Leviticus 19:17. Because we're going to show you what hate is. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
You my sister. Read. So it's a command that I'm not supposed to hate you in my mind. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Meaning you got to correct your brothers or sisters when you see him doing evil. Read.
And suffer not sin upon him.
Right, so we're not supposed to allow you to be in the midst of sin, because what? The wages of sin is death. If I know you're about to drive your car off the bridge and I don't give you warning that the bridge is out, can I say I love you? Right. But many of us, we see our brothers. Look how many people walk around, buy crackheads and all that out here, don't say nothing to them. Don't help them out. Brother fall out. He be out there cooking in the sun. They just pull up the ambulance, jump start him, they just throw him right back out the back of the ambulance. That's hatred, sis. Hold on, sis, don't go nowhere. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22:5. Sis, you ain't got nothing else to do but get these commandments, sis.
That's right.
This the best thing. Right, so let's get some of this godly work. Hold on, sis. Hold on, watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So the Lord don't want us cross-dressing, sis. So if I was out here trying to tell you about the scriptures with a dress on, what would you think? You would think I was crazy. Same thing with you wearing pants, but the white man has normalized it though. So he's made hatred normal. He's made ungodliness normal. Understand that thing, sis.
I watched y'all all night on YouTube.
Right. So give me 1 Corinthians 3:16. So hold on, bro, we got you. Right. But we got to give you this though, brother, out of love. Watch this.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Brother, you are the temple of God, my brother.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Brother, you got to put the cigarettes down, man. Give me that James 4:17. You got to put the cigarettes down, my brother.
A lot of, and not just only that, a lot more than that.
Right. We got to get it together, though, brother. Read that.
James chapter 4, verse 17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good.
So to the brother that knoweth to do good, read.
And doeth it not.
And don't want to do it. What is it, my brother?
He's like a lukewarm servant.
Nah, hold up.
To him it is sin.
Brother, that's sin when you know to do good, you're going against it. Come on, my brother. We got to stop sinning. We want the Save Streets campaign out here, my brother. I'm not right. God right. I'm just reading the words out the Bible.
Hey, look, what I was trying to say to you, being a lukewarm servant, you are straddling the fence. You're trying to serve two masters.
So what you want to do?
Serve one.
Who's that?
The one only most high.
Right, so you can't serve him while smoking cigarettes.
That's right.
You can't do that, my brother, because here's the thing. You either following the God of this world or the one true God. Give me 2 Corinthians 4, man. A lot of our people like walking the spirit of the white man. They love it, man. Then they say, you know what? We're going to touch on some stuff. Watch this. Yep, 2 Corinthians 4. Watch this. Right here, I got you, brother. So this, watch this. Start at 1, we're going to read down to 4. Watch this, my brother.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry.
So seeing we have this ministry, this is the ministry, this is the true ministry right here. Read.
As we have received mercy.
And we have received mercy because the Lord called us into this truth. Understand that. That was mercy from the Lord. We can still be out here calling ourselves niggas, coons, whatever the word of the flavor of the money is. Read.
We faint not.
We what?
We faint not.
Meaning we got to constantly endure. That's why we out here Sabbath or Saturday after Saturday out here to teach the gospel to you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans destroyed here in Baltimore. Read.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
Hold on, we've done what?
Renounce the hidden things of dishonesty.
Hey, my brother, did you hear that? Brother, right here, did you hear what the Lord told us to do? Read that again.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
We got to renounce the hidden things of dishonesty. One of them hidden things that what that cross means. That's a dishonest symbol on your neck, my brother. And I'm telling that because I love you as my brother. Read.
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness.
Not walking in craftiness. A lot of our people out here craft. They got food stamp schemes. They selling drugs and doing all this other stuff. Come on, read.
Nor handling the word of God deceitfully.
Right, like your churches. They telling you to pay tithes. Where is that in the scriptures that the Christ died? Tithes was for the Levites. So you go in there every Sunday you paying people to lie to you.
That's right.
Tithes, Christ did away with the whole Levitical priesthood, which included tithes. And many of our people are paying tithes to this day, and the pastors don't even have the courage or the wherewithal to even tell our people. Read.
But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience.
And that's what we out here doing. In truth, read it again.
But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience.
Why? Because we bringing out the word of God. And it's sharper than a two-edged sword. Read.
In the sight of God.
In the what?
In the sight of God.
Because you're not going to do no evil that is not going to come out. Understand that thing. Matter of fact, give me that Luke 12 and 2. Said in the sight of God. You thinking you doing your evil in the dark and it ain't going to be brought to light. You got the game twisted. Read that. My brother, you got some questions, my brother? Read that.
Luke chapter 12 verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
You hear that, my brother? You hear what the Lord said? Read it again for my brother. Come on back, my brother. We out here. You said, well, we out here to build, my brother. Read that.
Luke chapter 12 verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
Right. Is that it on that?
Neither hid that shall not be known.
So go back to 2 Corinthians. I brought that because we do things in the sight of God. Meaning what? We can't do no evil and the Lord not going to see it, my brother. Understand that thing. Judgment is coming to America. Read.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 3. But if our gospel be hid.
So here's the thing. If the gospel, what we out here teaching, this is what we out here teaching as the gospel. If it be hid, what?
It is hid to them that are lost.
Why are they lost? Read.
In whom the God of this world.
In whom the what?
The God of this world.
That's the so-called white man. He's the power of this world today. He's ruling over the nations on the earth. Read.
Hath blinded the minds of them.
Have blinded the minds, particularly with their TV. Blinded the minds of our people with the TV, his religious institutions, his educational systems. Read.
Have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the righteous gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, shall shine unto them.
Right, meaning what? They in total darkness, man. Give me that in John, man.
John chapter 3, verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world.
So the true teaching of the gospel of the scriptures is coming to the world, but what?
And men love darkness.
Men love what?
Darkness.
Our people love sin. Read.
Rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
Their deeds are what?
Were evil.
So go back to 2 Corinthians. I want verse 5 again. Watch this.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 5. Verse 4. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Why they don't believe? Because they love sin. They love sin. Sin feels good. Getting high off is a boxing, smoking a K2, having sex with all different types of women. All that stuff feels good because what? America said I could do it. Read.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
Right, they don't want that light. They said, nah, I'm going to stay in the darkness under the white man. Read. We're going to get the prophecy on that. Read.
For we preach not ourselves, but Christ Jesus.
But we do what?
We preach not ourselves, but Christ the Lord. And ourselves your servant for Jesus' sake.
Ourselves are what?
Servant for Jesus' sake.
We out here, we the servants of Christ. Give me that Luke 14 and 23. Watch this, take a break. Watch what the Lord said that he commanded his servants to do. Read that. And we're going to go back to that Corinthians again, and we're going to get Isaiah 60. Give me that Luke 14, 23. Because this is what the servants of Christ are supposed to do. We preach in Christ because we are servants. Read that.
Luke chapter 14, verse 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in.
Right, you see that? Why you think about here on Penn North? To compel you all to come in. Come in what? Come into the truth. Come into the light. Come out of the gross darkness. Give me that in Isaiah 60, man. Our people are in gross darkness, man. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come.
For what?
Thy light is come.
Christ has came, and he sent his servants out here to what? Shine his light in Baltimore. Read.
And the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
And the glory of the Lord is risen upon what?
Upon thee.
Right now, y'all are hearing the glory of the Lord. What's the glory of the Lord? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the chosen people of God. That's the glory of the Lord. Read.
For, behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
But what?
The darkness shall cover the earth.
Go back to 2 Corinthians. We're going to see what this darkness is, man. Let's go to verse 3. Watch this.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. Verse 2. But have renounced the hidden. Verse 4. In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
Now go back to Isaiah 60. You see how this thing going together? Read that.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. Verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come.
Sis, the light is come, sis.
And the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
So the white man in his sin is going to cover the earth. Read.
And gross darkness the people.
And gross darkness the people. That's talking about us, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are in the gross darkness. Look at what's pushed to our sisters. All lasciviousness and lust. The black leaders, the black women are Cardi B, who? Mega Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and all that other man, all that foolishness, man. Little Kim and all them back in the day, all that madness, man. Read.
But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, and the Gentiles shall come into the light.
Right, so that's the northern kingdom brothers and sisters coming in. So guess what? We got to get out of that gross darkness, man. We got to get out of that. And there's all kinds of foolishness going on, man. Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Because our people's minds have been destroyed, man, through all these gifts. Now he got the new one where you get a chance to win the lottery to take this vaccine. This thing killing people left and right, man. What have you ever seen the pharmaceutical companies or the so-called white man paying you to be healthy? You got to be out your damn mind. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Read.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
You see that? People's like, nah, I ain't getting that joint. Next thing you know, they come out with the gift, man. You get a chance to hit the $1 million lottery. Now people lined up. Give me Proverbs 17 and 23. I think that's what I want. Let's see. Let's see if that's what I want. Yep, watch this.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 24. Wisdom is before. Verse 23. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom.
Hold on, a what?
A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment.
Right. So what? What's that wicked thing out the bosom? Man, we got this thing for you, man. This medicine for you that's gonna take you, gonna put you where you need to be. Okay, read that again for the people, man.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 23. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment.
Right, because our people's like, nah, we not getting that. Now, judgment has been perverted because what? They put a lottery ticket out there. Sis, you heard of that? So what? You gonna get that? Absolutely not. Let's get me SIRACH, you know what I want, 12 and 6, man. Bring it up. Watch this.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. SIRACH chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Hey sis, you hear that? My sisters, did y'all hear that? Guess what God said? Y'all got to pay attention. Y'all going to be lined up messing around with Fauci and Bill Gates and get put to death. Read that again.
SIRACH chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Meaning what? His evil is going to be revealed over time. We out here for you all. Like where your past at? Where the so-called black leaders at in Baltimore? What are they doing for the people? Like we got to ask ourselves these real questions. Like why are we happy living like this? Like, sis, y'all been around for some time. Y'all seen the progression or the regression of Baltimore. Like, what's going on with our people?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.